Hey, all right, everybody, look, I got some more parts. Right, okay, so some more parts have turned up. I'll show you all the parts have turned up in a minute. But I got the frame by here, I got the seat base. It's not connected yet. So what I'll do is I'll get the bolts for this. I'll bolt this on. I think I'll bolt this part on as well. I'll show you the bolts and the sizes. So we'll put them on just to get them out of the way. I might have to take things off and on a few times, maybe, but I think these parts, if I put them on now, they should stay on. So first of all, I'll put this on. Now this is held on with M8 20mm long. So it's 20mm long M8s, 4 of them. So I'll pop them in there, and then this is held on with M6s, and I think the top ones are M6 16mm long, sorry, and M6 12mm long on the bottom. That's what it says in the diagram anyway. So I will talk things up later on, but I'm just loosely assembling it at the moment, and I might put some thread lock on eventually, but there's no point putting thread lock on now, because if I got to take anything off, I'll have thread lock on it. So M8's 20mm for you first, and then we'll do the other bit then. So let's do this bit first. Okay then, I got my M8 20mm by there. I got a bag of bolts here, look, so I got to go through these, measure these each time, look at the diagram to see which bolts go where. So I got loads of bolts, I got loads of stuff. So I'm going to pop these in here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'll pop them in, and then we'll have a go at putting this little plate here for the battery down in here. Down in there, look. So this should be very straightforward of just, you know, finding where they go there. Yeah, there's one in, like that. I won't do them all up tight yet. You get all the bolts in first before you do that, because you have got to wiggle it about. Give it a little wiggle and a piggle, and then it should be alright then. But see, that's popped up by there. Let's pop that down by there. If you do one up tight, then you won't get the rest in. So let's just pop this other one in here, find what it is. There, that one's in. And this one, is it going to be a struggle, or is it going to go straight in? That one's in as well. There we go. And that's not going right. So let's try and move it across a bit. There we go. There we go. So they're all in. So I'll tighten them up, and then we'll have a go at the other piece. Okay then. So I'm going to pop this in. Now this has got the rivnut type style. Now I think the original plastic piece hasn't got rivnuts. This is aluminum or aluminium, the proper word. The original one is plastic, and it's got chimney nuts, I think they're called, but this has got rivnuts. So this is going to go down, it's going to live down in there somewhere. So let's pop that down in there, try and line it up. You can see the holes there, look. So they've got to line up down there somewhere, like that. And then there's another 2 holes down there. I'll try and line them up. Well, let me get this straight by here, and then I'll put the bolts in, and I'll get back to you. Right, this is the back of the battery plate piece. I've got the frame sort of in an upright position so I can get to the bolts easier. Now, this is an M6 12mm, and it says to use, well, I'm looking at the diagram, it says to use a spring washer, but I've used a washer and a spring washer there. Then up the top here, this is the M6 16mm. There's no washers, you can't get washers in there, so that's straight in there and into them, what are they called now? I forgot what they're called now, rivnuts. So there we go. So I'm just going to tighten that up by there, like so, like that, with the old spring washer. Now everything should be tickety-boo, and there we go. Okay then, so the next thing I'm going to put on, I'm going to put this on here, well, that way, like that. Now when this came to me, this was facing round that way, and it won't work, it won't go onto this bit here. It was facing the wrong way, so it wouldn't go on there, so I've had to turn that around. This red bit here, it was round that way, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to put this on, but first of all, before I put any of this on, this frame came pre-installed with taper roller bearings in there and in there, and I'm going to use some grease This is the grease I always use here. It's Sur-ron Pro RG2 synthetic racing grease, and it operates at high temperatures. It's a red racing grease. Don't know if you can see in there. It's well used. So I'm going to grease everything into an inch of his life. I'll get everything greased up. Now there's also in here, there's some taper roller bearings in there and there as well. So I'm going to grease them. Everything's dry, so I need to grease them all up. So let's get grease in. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm pushing the collar out like so, like that. Then I can get in there and grease them up. Don't know if you can see in there. Don't know if you can see in there. There's a hair in there. We don't want a hair in there. So let's get a big pile of grease in there as well. Lovely, lovely. See, putting some grease in there. Some more grease on that side. Get it really greased up. Like that, that's that one. I think that's all greased up. That's greased up. And then we'll do the other one as well. Let's push that collar back in. Push the collar back, and then loads of grease will come out the other side, I expect. There we go. Give that a bit of a wipe off. And then I'll do the same on this side by here. Greasy, greasy. Do exactly the same on this one. Plenty of grease in there. Plenty of grease in there. That's too much grease. Grease, grease. Grease, grease, grease. Like so. That looks pretty good. Pop that in there like that. Give that a wipe off. And that's everything greased. This one here comes with the old grease nipple things. So if you've got a grease gun, you can keep greasing these every now and again, which is good. So I'll have to get a grease gun so I can pop some grease in there as well. Now I've got this here for the top triangle mount, which consists of a bolt, a shoulder bolt, two of these white, let me just try and get rid of that piece of paper, two of these white washers, nylon washers, and a spacer thing. So I'll put the spacer thing in first, in there like that. Lots of grease popped out of there then. Then I'll put that through there like so. I'll put that bolt, actually I'll put a little bit of grease on this shoulder bolt as well, I think, for when you want to dismantle the bike. It's nice to have a little bit of grease on there. Just a little bit. Right. I'll pop that through there like so. Plenty of grease on there now. Look at that. And then the other shoulder bolt, the other washer goes on there like so. Right. And I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so I don't know how much of that you saw there, but we got the white nylon washer in there, we got the bearing in there, we got the bolt and the nylon washer on that side, and we got exactly the same on this side. Nylon washer, bolt going through, nylon washer on this side, and the needle bearing inside, and it should be able to move up and down. It shouldn't be floppy, but it should be able to move up and down, and them bolts should be going up and down like that. So that's what you should have. That's the way it should be. Well, I'm saying that's the way it should be. I believe that's the way it should be. So let's put the shock. I'll put the shock up there. Let's just do it. Let's put the shock on and we'll see what it's like. Okay, so the collar that goes in there, turns out that the internal diameter is just a little bit too tight, because all the other collars are okay. If I use these collars here, all these collars, the bolts go through them. But the collar for this, there and up the top, there, focus, they're a little bit tight. So what I'll do, I'll get a bit of 1000 grit sandpaper. I'll roll it up and I'll just give that a little tickle inside. Give it a little tickle until the bolt goes through. So it's still tight in there, but it actually goes through. So I'll roll up a bit of sandpaper like that, like so, nice and tight. And then once it's inside there, if I can get it in there, I think I haven't done it tight enough. Let me do it a bit tighter. A little bit tighter. Go on, nice and tight. Nice and tight, nice and tight, nice and tight. I should go in there now. Go on, go in there. Right, get that through there like that. And I'm going to spend the next 7 years going like that now. And sort of up and down. I've come back out again. I'll get that back in there. Like that. It shouldn't take too long. It's 1000 grit. I don't want to go too mad. Like 400 grit might be too much. So I'll go around a few times with this now. And then hopefully, after I've been round it a few times, everything will be tickety-boo and the bolt will go through. But I'm going to do this for ages yet. The bolt will probably go through now. Let me just check. Yeah, look, it's going through now, look. See? It didn't take long. Just a little tickle, and everything's tickety-boo. I'll give it a little bit more because it could do with a little bit more. But I'll carry on doing this for a second, and then I'll get back to you. Right, okay, so this bolt now should go through, no problems at all, if I line it up properly. I'll line it up. It's getting a bit greasy by here, I've got to say. There we go, and there we go. It goes through nice now. I'll get some paper, wipe this up. This one is for the swing arm, so it's a bit wider because the swing arm goes through there. I might have to do the top bolt as well. We'll have a look now because the top bolt feels a little bit stiff as well. So I'll do the top bolt and the bottom bolt. Then all this should all be put together and should be tickety-boo. But it's not tickety-boo because it didn't go smooth. Right, okay, that took way longer than expected. Like I was trying to show, I had to sort of sand out that one there. And this one up here as well. That one there. The collar inside there. All the other ones were okay. So that's all together now. So you've got the rear spring and the triangle thing all together. I don't know if I got to take that back off when I do the jack shaft. The jack shaft's got to go in by there somewhere when the swing arm goes on. I haven't got the swing arm bolt yet or the jack shaft. I'm waiting for some more parts. So that was a palaver. It was supposed to be easy, but it turned out to be a bit of a palaver. And you can see there, look, it says £550 inch, whatever it is, fast ace. So hopefully everything's right by there now. I think it's right. I think it's all in the right place. So we're all heading in the right direction. Right, okay, so I've just put some bolts in the bottom of this swing arm temporarily. I did have some of the right size bolts. Not the right bolt, but just bolts to go through. So I could check if this bolt was the right size here to go through on the top of the swing arm. And it is the right size. Everything's right. Everything I've ordered is all right. So everything fits up lovely. I got to wait for some more parts now. So this is where I got to stop at the moment. Should be some more parts coming tomorrow or the next day. I don't know when stuff's going to turn up because it does take a while to come from China. But so far, it's all going together okay, except this did take me longer than expected. Because, you know, the bolts just wouldn't go through them collars. So just a little bit of a tickle with a fine sandpaper 1000 and it slid through okay. So there we go. It does look nice, doesn't it? It does look nice, I gotta say. And here's a bit of a close-up of how I was looking. Let me just show you that bolt there I was talking about for the swing arm. So you can see that once I do that up is right. The not the collar part, it's only partially threaded, isn't it? And then the thread sticks out at the end, but you can see it's the right size. All the bolts gone in the right place. This is that nice. It's quite nice, this part I've bought, and you can grease them, look, so externally, which is fantastic. So there we are. That's how we're looking so far. Got this on. What did I get on today? I got this on by here. Got all this mechanism on by here. And this front battery bit here. Now I have got Over there, look. I've got the, what are they called? The taper bearing things. For the heads in here. I've got to tap these in up here and down the bottom. So I might do that a little bit later on. But that's as far as I'm going for now. And then we'll resume when I pick the camera up again. Okay, now I don't know how well this is showing up on the screen, but this black bit here, I've got to get that pushed right in. There's a gap there. And this bottom black bit here has got to be pushed up and in. So I've got this tool here. I borrowed it off my brother because I have got some threaded rod, but these washers weren't big enough to fit here. So I've put that on there. You got a tool kit for all different size things to pull them all together. And all I'm going to do is quite simple. Instead of me banging up, like I've seen some people, and they just bang on that, trying to bang it in and bang that. But let's try and be sophisticated, hopefully. And I'll turn that like so, on there like that. Give it a bit of a turny. The bottom one's pulling in. I can see the bottom one's going tight here. This one here, look, this is going tight. Once it gets tight, the top ones start coming in, look. It's quite easy, and I don't have to do it hard. It's all going in nice and easily. And then once I get right down, almost there, nearly there. And there we are. It's there. It's as easy as that. Give it a bit of more of a punch. There we are. That's lovely and tight. Job done. Obviously take this off because I can't use it with that on, can I? Right, okay, the next job. Now I've got these in nice and tidy. I've got to get, there's the tapered head bearing things. I've got to get that one seated in there. And I've got to get the opposite one seated up in there. Now I have got another size here, look, which is almost the right size to go on there. Not quite right, but it should be enough to pull that down in there. Now I will give this a little tap first of all, just to seat it. And then I'll put this device on and pull it together again. Right, okay, I've got it set up again. Nothing on this bottom one. I'm just pushing against that. I'm trying to push, that's got to go inside that now. Trying to push that race in. So let's see if it works. Hopefully it does. I'll put that on there like so. That on there like that. Give it a turn. Let's turn this the right way. Like so. Give it a turn. It's going in, look. It's going in, folks. It is going in. Oh, it's working easy peasy. That's nice, isn't it? I think I'll turn this one now, like so. So I'll be able to feel it when it comes to a stop. Here we go. It's going to stop in a minute. There we go. I can feel it. And there we go. It's come to a stop. Slapping it off slightly. Like so. Let me take this off and I'll get back to you. Okay, if we have a little peek inside there like that, you can see that the race is seated. It's where it's supposed to be. It's all gone in. Lovely. And then obviously I will grease this up and pop that in there like so. And then I believe that if I can get it, I think this bit round that way goes in there like that. Like that. This is where it shows I was supposed to be done. Like that. And then I think it's that one then. That goes on top of there, like so. And then you put the forks in and the top triple clamp goes down against that. That's the way I think it goes. It's slightly different on the bottom. I've got to get that race up in there. And this bit here with a bit of a lip on it goes down on the fork so it comes up onto there, I believe. Anyway, I'll do the other one and that should be sorted. Now, I couldn't quite work out. When I said earlier on, the one with the lip goes on the top above that one. And then, if this makes any sense, the one without the lip goes on the bottom one because it fits inside, if you know what I mean. So, what am I doing now? I'm actually going to put some grease. I'm going to load up these bearings with red racing grease, as much as I can get in there. Try and really pack it in there as much as you can. Really get it in there. Try and turn the bearing as well if you can. If I can get it turned around, get it all pushed in there like so. Like that. Then I'll give it a little bit of a spin in there like that. Like that. And then I'll re-grease it again. And I'll do the same on the bottom one. I like to get plenty of it in there. The more grease, the merrier, they say. So, right, so I'll grease that, and I'll grease the bottom one, and then that should be, everything should be done, and it should all be ready to take the forks. I think they've put enough grease in there. Surely. Let's push some in there as well. Push it all in the gaps. Push it all in. Give it a spin. Like that. It does feel nice. Push some more in. Give it another spin. That should be plenty. I'll do the same. I've got to do the same to that one as well now. So I don't know if you can see by here, this bit here, look, this has got to be pushed down. Let me just show you. With that inner bit facing up, flat bit facing down. It does taper out slightly by there, so I'm gonna have to get something to knock this down. I think I got a tube somewhere that I can tap it down with. So I'll tap that down. I think I got a tube by here actually. I'll see if that's... I don't know if that's going to be the right size. Is that going to be the right size? It might be the right size. Let me just try it. You can see when it changes noise. That means it's home. There we are, look, that's a cut-off stanchion off a motorbike. Comes in handy. And then that's got to go down there, like so, on there, like that. Now, I don't know if that stanchion's going to be too big to knock this down. Because you don't want to knock the outer race, you only want to knock the inner race. So let me just check. Hopefully this goes onto the inner race. No, it's not, that's too wide, that is. I think that's going to be... I don't want to be hitting this outer race. What I'm doing, I'm lifting it up like that and like that. So I'm hitting the inner part, if you know what I mean. Sort of. I'll have to find something a bit thinner. But you get the gist, you know what I mean, and then you just stick the forks on. It's pretty straightforward. Right then, okay, I've got the front forks on. I was trying to film it, but I kept getting in the way because I was all crouched over it and in the way. So it was hard for me to show what was going on. But obviously, this was off. I slipped the forks up. I pushed the little collar down over the top of the fork. Then this bit on. Then I pushed this bit down. It was all doing this. I was holding that up at the same time, doing this with one hand. And I was in the way. Then I put these 1, 2, 3, I think it's 4, there's even a smaller one, them on there as well, after I pinched that up. And I put this on. I've shown you all before now, it's a long thing, it goes down under there. Don't know if you can see that under there, there we go, there's the bottom of it there. And I put that on so it was tight, loosened that back off, this one here, because I only put one nut in, then tightened that down until I could feel, if you do it too tight, you'll start to feel a little bit of resistance. And then I pinch these back up and I'll torque them to the proper spec. So there we go. At the moment, that's where we are so far. That is not in there properly. I've only got temporary bolts in it at the moment. We got the rear shock on. We got that bit on there. We got this on, the forks on. We got the front plate on. And there's the controller there. There, look. And this is the most easiest controller to fit in the world, because all you do is you put a bolt in there, N5 I think it is, and a bolt in there, and that's it. It's so small, it's just 2 bolts into the middle. There's 6 holes in the back here. The middle holes on the controller go into there. So that's the controller on the front there. I've had to buy, what have I had to buy? These little spacers here, couldn't find them new, so I bought some second-hand ones on eBay. I had to buy a big pile of bolts just to get these little things here. Right, so there we are. It's coming along. It's coming along singing a song. Yeah, it's looking nice, isn't it? Now, I am waiting for the longer bolts to turn up. They should be there tomorrow. I should be getting a few things turning up tomorrow. So, when I get some more things, we'll do some more stuff. Okay then, that's as far as we're going to go in this episode. So come back in part 3. We'll put some more stuff on the Sur-ron build. I'll talk about the brakes because I have got some more boxes here, some big brake discs, and many more parts have turned up, and we'll put some more stuff on this bike, and you can join me putting the stuff on the bike. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!